The offense struggled again last night, mustering just one run against the Diamondbacks. Tonight, they face local product Joe Saunders and his Major League best 0.90 ERA. Time for the Nats to rally and get back in that win column.
Washington Nationals baseball.
It is cool and breezy at Nationals Park tonight, and hopefully there are some hits and some runs blown in that breeze. Bryce Harper in the lineup tonight. He'll actually be in center field, and the Nats take on the Diamondbacks, needing a win and needing some offense to get that accomplished. Bob and FP, welcome to the ballpark. But we have to talk about pitching as well, because pitching is what keeps you in games. Whitey Herzog once said, I can wait for offense. I can't wait for pitching and defense. And it's a pretty good example of what's going on around here.
Yeah, with Edwin Jackson, he's coming off a good start last time out. 6 2/3 scoreless innings in San Diego. He didn't get any run support. Ended up getting the no decision. But for Jackson, I mean, he's been on a bunch of different teams. He pitched for the Diamondbacks. You see his no-hitter right here. And I guess we could show him in highlights of pretty much any uniform. But with Edwin, he's coming off a good outing, and we just hope he keeps it going. But I'll tell you what, Carp, the starting pitching is getting worn down. These guys need some runs right now. And I'm not talking about worn down physically. I'm talking about worn down mentally.
Jackson, 50 and 42 and 131 starts. By the way, for Arizona, who he threw that no-hitter for, he only went 6 and 10 in 21 starts for them. In the number 3 spot tonight is Jason Worth. How about this? He's hitting .350 at home, .462 against lefties, and he has 2 career homers against Joe Saunders, the product of West Springfield High School. Local boy comes home. The locals want to make it a bad night for him. Masson, brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Game 2 of this homestand and of the 3-game series with the D-backs. And by the way, Arizona now just 3.5 back of the Dodgers, who suffered a walk-off loss at Colorado today. So the Diamondbacks are hitting .251. It's a 69-degree evening with breezes blowing in. Visit Train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Diamondbacks lineup, they're 5th in the league in runs and they're 3rd in home runs, and Jason Kubel is leading the way. He's 5 out of 10 his last 2 games, and with that success over the last 2 weeks, he's the 4th leading hitter in the National League at .338. And he has 3 career hits against Edwin Jackson. A bunch of these D-backs have seen Edwin from the American League. He has pitched in 5 games, 4 starts against Arizona, 3.42 ERA, the record 1-2 against the D-backs.
And he's coming off that 6 2/3 scoreless innings Thursday in San Diego. He received the no decision. He gave up just 6 hits, struck out 6, walked 3 through 105 pitches, 62 for strikes. So the D-backs will be seeing a fastball, slider, curveball change from Jackson. Remember last time, the slider was good.
First pitch right on time at 7:05 and a strike to Gerardo Parra, who last night had a base hit, a steal, and a run scored in the 9th inning. He went 1 for 4. He was also walked intentionally. Diamondbacks really had the bats ringing here last night, scoring 5 runs on 13 hits. 13-year veteran Bill Welke has the plate. Tim Cheetah, the crew chief, at first, and then second and third, Chris Guccione and Jeff Nelson. Davey Johnson's ball club is hitting only .225. First order of business, get 3 outs, and then we'll worry about that. Fastball up. Kirk Gibson. His ball club's won 3 straight. They're 13 and 11. How about their road record? 7 and 4 away from Chase Field. 1-2 pitch. Pulled on the ground. Nice big hop for Adam LaRoche.
Set the defense tonight for the Nationals behind Edwin Jackson. Nady Harper-Worth in the outfield. Desmond Lombardozzi on the left side. Espinoza LaRoche on the right side. And Wilson Ramos doing the catching.
Nationals have the second fewest errors in the league. Phillies and the Nats with 12. St. Louis 11.
And Bryce Harper getting the nod in center field.
I asked Bryce, did you see the replay of that throw last night? He goes, yeah, I know I had him. He knew he was out, but sometimes you don't get the call.
Well, Jeff Nelson missed the call, but we always used to have a saying on the bench, a good defensive play is worth a step. And I mean, you got to be in the moment right there. You see the ball coming in, it's Bryce Harper. I mean, usually that gets you the call, just the fact that a guy made a good play. Ozzie Smith used to make diving plays in the hole all the time, and it was bang bang at first, and it always used to go to Ozzie Smith because he made the great play.
Yeah.
And you would think a veteran umpire like that, how do you get on the highlight reel? You bang the guy at home plate. That's how you get on TV.
Yeah, we used to laugh about Ozzie. Guys were out before he ever threw it to first base after he picked them up like that sometimes.
Veteran umps know that.
Aaron Hill with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball way outside. So let's look at that rifle arm again when he played left field twice.
And some good throws. And this one was clutch. This was late in the game. And this run meant something, right on the money to Wilson Ramos. So 2 throws that really don't mean a whole lot other than we like to watch them because everybody's safe on all of them. But they were great throws. That one last night, I thought to myself, Carb, I said, this is going to be our first 19-year-old moment. The throw probably should go into second base. He'll throw this halfway up the screen because he's amped up at his first home game. And what does he do? He throws it right on the money from a distance. I haven't seen too many people make a throw like that.
Right. Justin Upton is next. He's the right fielder. 4th in the league with 17 runs scored. And Upton's on fire right now. He's hitting .323 over the last 8 games, and he's driven in 7 runs. And Edwin has good early game stuff tonight. Good swing and miss stuff. That was 94 upstairs. Upton, by the way, 3 for 3 career with an RBI against Edwin. Not afraid to throw that fastball up in the zone. It's got some hop to it tonight.
And we've seen the damage on the road in Los Angeles and the damage in the first game of this series done by the opposition on off-speed pitches.
And it's a fireballing staff, isn't it?
Yeah, they got a lot of guys that throw hard, and there's been some pitches that have been left up. But all in all, they've been lights out.
Target outside corner. He takes a little bit off and gets the strikeout. And a very nice 1-2-3 for Edwin. Nothing like getting your hitters right into the dugout. Ryan Matthews is going to go Spider-Man on us.
They're going bottom of the first. Rally hats, rally sweatshirts. They want some runs early tonight.
And so do we. See your authorized Dodge dealer. Experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive. Go to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Steve Lombardozzi, in the 8 games he has started this year, is 10 for 31. And the young infielder is hitting .289 overall. He'll get some right-handed at-bats tonight against the lefty Joe Saunders. 2-2 in 4 career starts with a complete game against the Nationals.
He's coming off probably his best outing as a big leaguer. His 3rd career shutout, 7th complete game on April 27th at Miami. Allowed just 3 hits, all singles. He retired 12 of the first 13 batters he faced. No base runner reached past second base. So he struck out 4, walked 2 through 116 pitches. Other than that, he's coming off a terrible outing.
Ian Desmond, 2 consecutive hits to finish the game last night. One of them, the evening's only RBI, and he takes a strike. Showing bunt, got Ryan Roberts moving in from 3rd. Desmond, career against Saunders, 3 for 13. Nats need some of the table setters on base early in the game. That's a changeup that drifts outside, 1-1.
And I watched his last outing against the Marlins, and what he did exceptionally well was fastball command. Early in the game, first time around, he was mostly away with his fastball. Then he started going down and into the righties, and he was putting it wherever he wants. So 87 to 90 on the fastball. Sneaky fastball, but he's got good command. Curveball and change, you go with it.
Saunders hasn't given up anything on the road so far. 0 ERA away from Chase Field. And the 1-2 to Ian. Desmond will hit it out into right center. That ball's got some carry to it. It is up against the 15-foot scoreboard and real close to leaving the ballpark. I think that breeze coming in from right field might be the only thing that kept it in.
And everybody in the bullpen taking credit for that leadoff double by Ian Desmond. That ball was hit. But wouldn't you know it, you got a guy coming off a 116 pitch effort, his finest hour as a major leaguer, and that's how this one starts, a leadoff double.
That's about 375 away where that ball hit, and it's a 15-foot elevation to get it over that board. So here's Lombardozzi, and here's where the Nats need some of that situational hitting that Ray Knight talked about after the ball game during Nats Extra. Just did not happen, and hasn't happened a whole lot lately. Biggest example, of course, this was the number 3 hitter last night, Rick Ankiel, up there swinging away with 2 on, nobody out, but the double play hurt, and the Nats really didn't make much noise the rest of the night.
Well, we talked about it late in the game last night. If you're not going to hit, you have to do these things well.
Lombardozzi will flare it to right, and Desmond won't be able to go anywhere on this. FP talked last night about the arms in both of these outfields, Arizona's and Washington's. 1 out.
Let's set the defense for the Diamondbacks and talk about those arms. Kubel has the most assists in the outfield. Parr probably has the best arm, and you just saw Upton's. It's a good arm as well. McDonald and Roberts are on the left side of the infield. Hill and Goldschmidt on the right side. Miguel Montero doing the catching. Yeah,
isn't it interesting that National League teams have challenged Kubel so far, not seeing that much of him, and he's already thrown out 6 runners.
Well, of all the 6 outfielders in this baseball game tonight, or last night especially with Ankiel in there, you'd probably say his is, it's a good arm, but it's not as good as the others, and he has the most assists.
Well, he keeps doing that. They'll stop running on him. Here's Jason Worth, who's hitting .350 in this ballpark. Saunders starts him off speed. Jason is 3 for 10 career with 2 homers, 4 RBIs against the Arizona lefty. Worth, by the way, the 5th leading hitter in the league against left-handed pitchers. Matt Kemp, Rafael Furcal, Starlin Castro, and Jose Altuve are all hitting .500 or better against lefties in the first month of the season. Well, there he is, .462. Just haven't been that many guys on base to do big damage.
Altuve's hitting .367.
How about that guy? That's 3rd in the league behind David Wright and Kemp, who is still over .400. Oh, he gets the call on that fastball under Worth's hands. No balls, 2 strikes.
And this is the pitch that was working so well for Joe Saunders' last start in Florida. That fastball down into righties. It's sneaky.
They're playing shallow on the right side of the infield. Interesting defense by Gibson and his Charges. Deep on the left side, shallow on the right side, and Paul Goldschmidt is 45 feet off the first base line.
Well, you have to have an athletic first baseman to play him basically at second base, because that's a long run to go find the bag on a hard hit ground ball to the left side.
And Worth will take that one off the plate inside. And the count's 2-2. Adam LaRoche, the former Diamondback, is next. And Worth will strike out. Out number 2. Find out why the government is turning to STG at STGinc.com as we go inside the numbers on Adam, who's off to such a good start, batting .314.
And you see the numbers against the off speed right there. Obviously hitting the fastball well at 360, but 250. He's faced a lot of left-handers this year, so that's why his average is where it's at. 314, because he's hitting the off speed so well.
Last night against his ex-team, Adam went 0 for 4. Hit .261 with 25 homers, 100 RBIs for the D-backs 2 years ago. He had 26 go-ahead RBIs that year, and 10 of them turned out to be game winners. That's how clutch he was. Counts even, 1-1.
Really focus on the release point of Joe Saunders on this pitch. And he's a guy that short arms the baseball, and when you face a pitcher that short arms the baseball, 89 will look like 94, 95. It'll get on you quick. He doesn't give you that long arm stroke. He just kind of throws it out of his ear hole like that, and it gets on you. That says 91, but to a hitter, that might as well be 95. Let's check it out one more time. Short arm guys always used to give me problems. You see him right here, and then he brings it right behind him, kind of hides the ball well, and just comes right out of his ear real quick. He gets it up and out quick, and it gets on you quick.
Protection of the plate needed here. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Adam still 7th in the league in RBIs with 17. He, as a rule, will make people throw him strikes. On base percentage just under 400. That is a strike, and he misses the breaking ball. Leadoff double, and Ian Desmond never left second base. /fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 this year at a World Series game, presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Edwin Jackson, 11 pitches, 9 strikes, first inning. He'll face Jason Kubel, Miguel Montero, and Paul Goldschmidt for the Diamondbacks. Kubel, couple more hits last night. He was 2 for 5. He's hit safely now in 12 of his last 13 games. A little bit low, 2-0. Wow. 5 for his last 10, 9 for his last 18. That ball hit out to left, off the end of the bat. It goes slicing right over to Xavier Nady, and 4 straight for Jackson to start the game.
Yeah, the fastball's been good. The pitch last time, like we talked about in the first inning, was the slider for Edwin Jackson. But tonight, I'm watching his misses. They're below the strike zone. I think when Edwin Jackson gets in trouble with his fastball, it's up in the zone. Obviously, he has the kind of speed where he'll get away with it from time to time. But so far, so good. The misses are below the strike zone. He's keeping the ball down.
Miguel Montero, another hot hitter suddenly for Arizona. 360 over his last 6 games. This guy's always been a good hitter. First 6 years in the big leagues, 271. 28-year-old catcher from Caracas, Venezuela. And he signed with them at the age of 17. Great breaking ball to the left-hander.
And that's the curveball from Jackson. He only throws it 8% of the time, and that was a good one. Check this out. 12-6 break, straight down. Good hard curveball.
Slapped out to left, and Montero continues his good hitting.
A couple of hits last night, a 2 for 5. He struck out his first 2 times and then rallied for a couple of knocks. And he starts off game 2 with a base hit.
That'll bring in Paul Goldschmidt, the first baseman.
Pretty good swing right there. I mean, a lot of times as a hitter, when you swing and miss at a pitch and you look bad on it, you'll change your game plan and you'll sit on that pitch. But credit Montero right there for sticking to his plan, being all over the fastball after he just swung and missed at a pretty good curveball.
And former teammates visiting at first base. That's a little chopper. Fair ball, third base line. Lombardozzi on the move. Ow, he juggled it, says Tim Cheetah. And Adam LaRoche says, I did not juggle it. And here comes Davey Johnson.
He said, I had my back to it. How did you see it?
That may be one where Davey says, you got to ask for some help on that. Can he see through the body of Adam LaRoche?
And that's the argument that Adam LaRoche is sticking with right here. You see Lombardozzi on the slow roller. Let's check it out. Did he bobble it, folks? Oh, it's in his glove.
Yeah. That is a clean pick with the first baseman's mitt. So we have no idea what Tim Cheetah thought he saw.
But he's safe. That's irrelevant.
Now, I thought initially that the runner might have beaten the throw, but the signal from Cheetah was a bobbled baseball.
And he did beat the throw. So he got it wrong 2 ways.
2 on, 1 out. And the hitter is the big-time slumping Ryan Roberts, who had a great year for these guys. Last year, when he hit 19 homers and drove in 65 runs. He is 0 for 12 and 1 for his last 28.
Either suddenly umpiring is becoming really tough, or I'm just turned into a grouchy old man. I can't figure it out yet. Maybe a combo platter.
.152 overall. Just not a good start for Roberts. Last year he had 25 doubles to go with the 19 homers. Stole 18 bases. He's a journeyman guy, 31 years of age. Parts of 6 years in the big leagues with Toronto, Texas, and the Diamondbacks. This is trouble. 2 guys on and a 2-0 count. And he misses up and in. Number 8 hitter on deck, shortstop John McDonald, who had 2 hits and a walk last night. Diamondbacks did some damage toward the bottom of their batting order. Swinging on 3-0. Oh, Lombardozzi. Espinosa stays on the bag somehow. That's the second out. Runners end up at first and third. A Zimmerman-like pick for the rookie at third.
Great play on both ends. I mean, that ball was hit hard. Step and a dive, gets up to his feet. Little sidearm release point. The ball runs a little bit toward right field. Nice job by Espinosa on the back end, but Steve Lombardozzi ready for the baseball. Look at Espinosa get out of the way and make the play. That's just a great play on both ends. Look at that. Look it in.
Here's McDonald. How about the Diamondbacks having a 152 hitter swing away on 3-0 and almost drive in a run? Gibson must be feeling pretty good about his offense. McDonald behind. Gibson sending a .321 hitting shortstop up there, batting 8th tonight.
Yeah, McDonald with the big night last night. He lined out to right his first time up, got a couple of singles, so 2 for 3 with a walk.
He's overachieving. .238 career batter. Been around quite a while at the age of 37. Most of that time with Toronto. And that's inside. 1-1. Pitcher on deck.
See, but these are the situations that I was talking about might wear on you as a starter for the Nationals mentally, because if you're thinking if I give up 1 run in this baseball game or I give up 2 runs early, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
These are the high-stress situations I'm talking about, to where if you know your offense is going to score some runs, you just free and easy here, you throw your pitches. But now, even in the second inning, becomes a very critical situation if you're on the mound.
Looked like a check swing.
When your offense is going good, you got first and second, 1 out, so what? I'm going to throw my pitches right here, try to get a ground ball. If they score a run, you know, my offense has my back. But you know, the way these guys are thinking, I would assume that they feel like they have to be perfect right now.
2 balls and a strike. That ball down to third. Lombardozzi with a backhand grab. What a good inning he had. And Edwin Jackson works out of it. Nady Espinosa and the kid from Vegas, Harper, straight ahead. Let's go into our guy Joe Saunders and Steven Strasburg with the best 2 ERAs in the league. By the way, Slots, Tables, and Dining, the ultimate triple play, Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, and Steven Strasburg gets the nod for National League Pitcher of the Month with that 1.13 ERA, National League best 34 strikeouts, just 6 walks, and really he should be 4-0. He's had a couple of no decisions when he pitched extremely well. So congratulations to Steven. Nice honor to start the season.
Absolutely. It says others receiving votes. Nationals teammate Jordan Zimmerman 1-1 with a 1.33 ERA.
You don't mind being others on that list.
Yeah.
Xavier Nady, 2 for 8 career against Saunders. Davey Johnson probably had a choice tonight whether to put Nady in left or the youngster Tyler Moore. He goes with the veteran. And he's mentioned several times over the last week or so trying to, quote, get Nady jump started. He is 7 for 54. Soft one hopper over to Ryan Roberts. That's the first out here in the second. With Danny Espinosa coming in. Nationals Park. It doesn't feel 69 degrees tonight. Feels like it's about 50 or 55 with that breeze blowing straight in. Nats in this ballpark 8-3 on the year, 14-9 overall, and trying to break the 5-game losing streak. And at PU, and I talked about this when the ball club was going well, and again today, with the way these guys were pitching, you just wouldn't expect this club ever to have a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, if you'd have told me they'd lose 5 in a row the way they pitched the first couple of weeks of the season, the way they've pitched the whole month of April, I'd have told you you're crazy. I mean, I'll tell you that anyway. It's not really on the air, but
I've heard plenty of that. Danny gets off speed on the first one. Zimmerman, Gonzalez, Strasburg, what a group, man. They are dealers. Danny Espinosa, only 13 right-handed at bats this year. 4 hits. Looking for his first career hit against Saunders. He has walked 3 times. 0 for 3 against the lefty. Stayed with the off-speed pitch, and it slices out of play.
Danny was out here about 2:30 today, doing some early hitting, working on his right-hand swing, working on his left-handed swing. And I saw some things in his left-handed swing. I think he might be going back to that big leg kick he had last year left-handed. You see it in his right-handed swing. Trying to make some adjustments, searching for that swing.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Saunders, by the way, his first inning, 15 pitches, 10 strikes. And Bryce Harper will be tested in a moment against a quality veteran left-handed pitcher. Here's a 2-2. Way inside, no problem taking that one. I think Danny just needs to get to first base any way he can. Just get involved in the offense. Not saying to be passive here, but want him to swing at a good pitch. He has walked 11 times this year.
There's something to that. You walk your first time up, you feel like you're in the game. You get your uniform dirty, all of a sudden you feel like you're a part of it. Get on base your first time any way you can.
And a chopper out to short. Nice big hop for John McDonald. 2 outs. The government turns to STGinc.com.
Check out the pitches that Bryce Harper has seen this season. Look at the changeups. 13 changeups, 21 fastball. You see the slider and the curve. So a lot of off-speed last night, especially from Trevor Cahill. And he said, you know what? I've seen off-speed my whole life. You think when he was young, kids threw him fastballs? I should say younger.
Yeah.
You think he was young when he was 17 a long time ago?
You know, I hope there aren't coaches ruining arms by having kids throw Harper sliders at the age of 12. He gets jammed on that one. First base side. It looks like a hit. Saunders, all he could do was try to sweep the ball over with his glove, and he lost everything. Hope he's okay. He took quite a tumble there.
He did, and he had some extension in his arm after that flip. But for Bryce Harper, it's all he could talk about the dugout today before batting practice is why was McDonald playing me up the middle on that ball I hit between the pitcher's legs last night. And Bryce, they all equal out. You get the swing and bunt right there, and that makes up for the one you hit up the middle last night that you thought was a base hit.
Saunders shaken up.
Let's see what happens to his left arm right here on the flip. I think he got a little extension. Check it out. Was it the wrist or the arm when he was fully extended? Hard to say. Could just be the wind got knocked out of him.
Yeah, he kind of went down flat right on the turf there. Didn't roll or anything. So Ken Crenshaw, their trainer, out to have a look at him and let him get a blow and maybe take a toss or two here.
I'm sure Bryce learned this at the minor league level, but at this level with the best defenders every single night, you'll take base hits any way you can get them. You don't care what they look like. That's a line drive in the box score tomorrow.
Hey, he's a 300 hitter, man. That's 3 for 10. I read some interesting comments today from Cal Ripken Jr. when asked about Bryce Harper. And evidently Cal's done some watching here on Masson, and he said the things you're looking for in a young hitter is how he commands the strike zone and also what kind of quality at bats he has. And Cal said he's passed both of those tests so far.
Well, we said that Sunday in Los Angeles when he was trying to tie the game with a home run. He represented the tying run in the 9th inning, and he took a walk on some borderline pitches, and that was all we needed to see.
Fastball up to Wilson Ramos. The other thing Cal said was you look for a kid, how he handles things now that he's out of minor league ballparks and playing in front of much bigger crowds with the atmosphere, the pressure, and of course opening on the road. What's tougher than that? He's off and running. They've got him picked off, and he will be out at second. So Saunders goes 1, 3, 4 to pick off Bryce Harper. Second inning over.
Game series against the Diamondbacks. Let's check out Bryce Harper one more time, and that was just a guess and go. We talk about first move all the time, and I like the fact that the Nationals and Bryce Harper are being aggressive right here. You see Saunders already predetermined, and you got to go. There's no percentage of getting a run down. You go first move, you run all the way through. And when you've scored 1 run in 21 innings, I like the fact that he was aggressive right there, taking a chance, even though he got thrown out. You might be saying, well, he's hitting 7th, then you just walk Ramos to get to Edwin Jackson. Well, Edwin Jackson can hit, so I like the gamble right there by Davey Johnson and the Nationals.
Top of the 3rd inning, Saunders, Parra, and Hill. It is our park. The Phillies are here for the weekend, so you can ignite your attitude and show the Philly fans what this place is all about. Nationals.com/tickets. Some restrictions apply. Nats and the Phils this weekend. 105 game on Saturday. 7:05 Friday. The Sunday night game is 8:05. If you're making your downtown travel and ticket plans, And a strike to Joe Saunders, third inning underway. Saunders 0 for 8 this year. He's a 146 career hitter. Top of the order, Parra.
We talked to Tony La Russa about that very fact up here in the booth. When you're having trouble scoring runs, what do you do as an offense? You try to create.
Yeah. Press the issue. With the pitcher running, LaRoche will go ahead and do it himself. And Edwin Jackson looking good. 2 base hits. One of them infield variety, his first time through the order. And he'll take on Gerardo Parra and Aaron Hill now for the second time at Nationals Park. Tomorrow night, Ross Detweiler and Ian Kennedy. Lowest ERAs in Major League Baseball. That started the night at 2.34. It's going down.
And there's a big chunk of it right there. Pretty good first pitch changeup right there from Edwin Jackson.
Parra pulled the ball first time, bounced out to LaRoche. That ball is hit hard. And having to play it on a hop is Jason Worth. And I'll tell you, he did well to keep that ball in front of him. That was an in-between hop.
And with the speed of Parra, that might have been 4 bases if it gets by him. At least 3. That's one of those in-between line drives. As an outfielder, you're telling yourself, I got a shot to catch this, and then you get a little bit too close to it. So nice job of keeping it in front, keeping Parra at first, keeping the double play in order.
Got him on the left wrist to keep it within reach. Here's Aaron Hill, who struck out swinging first time on a breaking ball down and away. Parra is a running threat. He's 4th in the league, and he's stolen 8 of 9 so far. Gerardo Parra stole 15 bases in 16 attempts last year, so they have turned this 24-year-old loose.
They stole a base in the 9th inning last night and ended up leading to a Diamondback run.
Wilson Ramos. Now they've got him picked off. LaRoche will run him to the bag. Now Desmond the other way. A fake throw and then a tag by the pitcher. 1-3-6-1. 2 outs.
Hitting is contagious, and apparently getting picked off is contagious. I see the rundown right here. Ian Desmond does a nice job of running Parra all the way back to first. Edwin Jackson in the mix. You see how he pinched up right there at the end? Caught him in a lean. Nice pick by LaRoche once again. And gets him in the rundown. I think that was a nice job of holding the baseball by Edwin Jackson. Sometimes when you come in the stretch, the reason you see pitchers hold the ball for such a long time is they let the runner hang themselves, and that's exactly what happened.
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed how you can get an assist and a putout on the same play if you're the pitcher.
What'd you have that as?
1-3-6-1. That ball drilled to right. Worth will have to move over toward the line. He's there to grab it. And a quick end to the top of the third. Ramos will bat again in a moment. Into the game with Mom, learning the game from her. All right, guys, bottom of the third coming up. It's time for Christina and our sideline report. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Injuries again?
It is, Bob, but, you know, it's good news. Ryan Zimmerman has been out here throwing. He was out here all smiles earlier at batting practice, and he's going to actually start hitting on Friday. Davey Johnson predicted that Tuesday might be his coming out party, but he is eligible off the DL on Sunday. Davey said, I'd take him cold turkey if he was ready to go, but that's up to Ryan. We're really going to see where he's at on Friday as far as when it comes to hitting. And, you know, I talked to General Manager Mike Rizzo earlier about what it was like when Ryan went down. He said it was just kind of a ripple effect across the entire team. Having our best player, our guy out there that makes everybody feel comfortable when he's in the lineup out, and it's just really affected the team as a whole. So good news to hear that he's on his way back, hopefully.
All right, thank you, Christina. And I think Davey said that Friday Ryan will first be hitting off of a tee, and then they'll take it after that. Hey, by the way, FP, I got an email, and a Nats fan said you forgot to say something on Desmond's double.
There goes the no-hitter.
Thank you.
I'm right on it as usual, folks.
Well, you know, you could have just said there goes the two-hitter. And a good bunting situation now for Edwin Jackson, who's been known to pull the bat back. Now, this is an interesting statistic on this guy. He has 2 hits this year in a sacrifice. 187 career hitter with only 9 sacrifice bunts. He loves swinging the bat. And he has a home run with 7 RBIs. That's a good take. And he denies any chicanery in terms of intentionally messing up bunts so he can swing away with 2 strikes.
Yeah, as his manager Tony La Russa told us last year, he said he feels like he misses sacrifices so he can swing away. But he told me no shot. He likes to help himself and get that runner in scoring position anytime. And right now the bunt should be to first.
And there are a lot of pitchers, FP, who really want to lay down the bunt and then get off the field, get back off their feet.
If you look at Roberts at third base, he is right in the face of Edwin Jackson. So third base is closed, especially with the catcher Ramos at first. You got Goldschmidt holding the runner on. That's where the bunt should go, first base.
Well, now he's going to have to swing, unless the Nats do what some managers do and keep the bunt on with 2 strikes so you don't hit into a double play. But this guy is a much better than average hitting pitcher. So, I don't know, maybe your odds are better if you let him hack. He's going to show bunt and foul out. Well, situational hitting applies to everybody in the lineup. 1 out. That'll bring up Desmond, who banged one about 375 feet off the scoreboard, leading off the bottom of the first. But he never left second when Lombardozzi flied out. Worth and LaRoche struck out.
So he got a ball out over the plate his first time up. We talk about it all the time. Maybe you try to come inside this time.
He took a pumping swing trying to make it 2-0. It might take somebody just to get a hold of one and knock it out of the ballpark.
Well, that's exactly what he's thinking right here. That's a 3-0 hack on an 0-0 count. If you're going to swing early, swing. If you're going to be aggressive, let it fly. Come out of your shoes, why not?
And then he'll lay off that pitch low. Counts even, 1-1. He had actually took a couple of pitches before hitting that double in the first inning. So he's now 4 for 14 career against Saunders. Not sure where he thinks Ramos is going with 1 out.
That's a hit and run check right there by Kirk Gibson. 1-1 count's a good count to hit and run, even though Wilson Ramos doesn't run well. As a manager, if you put that play on, you're betting on your hitter making contact, and Kirk Gibson just wanted to take a little sneak peek to see if there was a lean going on by Ramos.
Target inside. Desmond just gets under that one. Ball into the twilight. They finally find it, and Kubel makes the catch. What do you like about the 1-1 count for a hit and run?
It's usually a very popular count to do it in. You know, obviously 2-1, 2-0, 1-0 is a good count, but a 1-1 count, you're betting on the pitcher trying to get ahead in the count, 1-2, so it's usually a strike count. and you need a count where a strike is thrown to put on the hit and run. A pitcher doesn't want to fall behind 2-1, so they generally throw a strike in that count. The hitter needs a strike to put into play.
Here's Lombardozzi, flied to right first time. It's a little tight right off his belt, and the count's ball one. You'd love to see Lombardozzi get aboard here for Worth, who didn't have a good at bat first time up tonight, but he's had a lot of good career at bats and very familiar with Joe Saunders.
Kind of under the radar, not too flashy, putting together a nice little run here as the third baseman in place of Ryan Zimmerman, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
A position that he hasn't played a whole lot in his career. You know, last night you look down at your scorecard, you say, oh, he had 2 hits, 2 for 4. And he's hitting 282, excuse me, right now.
Well, on 3-0. Do you turn a number 2 hitter loose, or do you want him to get aboard and let Worth have his 2-out hacks?
No. I don't think Steve Lombardozzi in his whole major league career, unless he's hitting 8th in front of the pitcher, will ever get a 3-0 green light with a number 3 hole hitter on deck especially.
Taking all the way. When Bobby Cox was managing the Braves down there, they used to call it, quote, the privilege. Only certain players on the ball club were given that privilege by that manager.
And then some players that are given the privilege still don't like to do it. I've had a lot of power hitters in my career that I've played with that don't like to hit in a 3-0 count.
That's a good looking swing, but it's foul. He got the sweet spot on that one. Meanwhile, the guy they call Lombo has done quite well over at third base.
Yeah, especially tonight. He's made a number of good plays on slow rollers, so he's checked that box. And how about the Zimmerman-like play going to his left? And don't forget to give Danny Espinosa some credit on the backside. That was a nice job of catching that sinker from Lombardozzi and getting out of the way.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and Ramos will be off and running. Lombardozzi puts one into the left field corner. Ramos heading for third. Bo Porter's going to wave him home. And the Nats take the lead. Lombardozzi's 4th RBI of the year.
I'm telling you, he's putting together a sneaky little offensive season so far. And that's the lead the Nats have been looking for a long time. You get that early run, 3rd inning, Lombardozzi gets the fastball in. It looks like Saunders tried to cut that. Just pulls his hands inside the baseball, sends it in the corner, and watch Wilson run. Bo Porter say, no way I'm stopping you here, big boy. You got ahead of Steve going, and we need a run.
How about a .500 batting average at home? Here's Worth, another runner in scoring position now. And they play that same defense with the right side of the infield bunched up towards second base. Worth ahead in the count here. Off speed. I know Worth isn't that kind of hitter. For another kind of hitter, that ball would have been a ground ball over the first base bag waiting to happen. That pitch away, that change up.
Boy, if you could just place it and it was that easy. He's
No
going right
kidding.
down the right field line.
He gets jammed, pops it up foul. Ryan Roberts will grab it. The Nats will settle for 1, but that's better than all the zeros we've been writing in the scorecard lately. Take it the way things have been going. Big hit by Lombardozzi. Top of the fourth coming up. And now Edwin Jackson. There's your lead, buddy.
There's your run. Go get him.
So the Nats with 4 base hits already. And for the Diamondbacks, Upton, Kubel, and Montero in the top of the fourth inning. Jackson 33 pitches, 22 strikes. We have a fact of the game for you. And there's Kirk Gibson from AT&T. How about Kirk Gibson, Don Baylor, who's in his dugout, the great Frank Robinson, and Joe Torre. Only guys to win MVP and Manager of the Year. Gibson was the Dodgers MVP in '88. 268 career hitter, 255 homers, 870 RBIs.
And usually good players don't make good managers because they just can't figure out why you're 0 for your last 16.
Yeah. Something they never did.
They never were. And for those of you that don't know, we used to tell Pedro Martinez all the time when we scored a run, we'd go by him in the dugout and say, there's your run, Pedro. Go get him.
Yep, go get him. Justin Upton leads off, struck out swinging. They got some dangerous hitters in the middle of this order. So you fall behind these guys, they can be trouble. That ball is scorched to center field, and it's gone. I'm not sure if Harper lost it in the twilight or he was trying to deke the runner, but that was not catchable, and the game is tied. Justin Upton's 3rd of the year. That's his 8th RBI in his last 9 games.
Well, some kind of backspin on that swing by Upton. Wow. Got a fastball down. Not a bad pitch. Hit a spot. Just sitting on it. And I don't think Bryce Harper saw that baseball at all. It's the twilight. It's that time of night when the lights haven't taken effect yet. And he's looking for help from Jason Worth.
I think Jason had the angle, said, don't worry about it. So the Nats now have given up just 7 home runs on the year. And that's the second one given up by Edwin Jackson. That quickly, the game is tied. Here's Jason Kubel. Like I said, you fall behind some of these guys and have to throw them over the plate. They are dangerous. Upton, Kubel, and Montero, and even Paul Goldschmidt, for that matter, the number 6 guy. Nice let up there. 86 on that change of speed.
Yeah, coming into tonight, Edwin Jackson, dating back to August 25th of 2011, he'd only given up just 2 home runs and 71 in the 3rd inning.
Base hit. Boy, that Kubel could hit, man. Came in batting .338. He's now 6 for his last 12. Hey, don't forget about the 5-game flex plans that Nats are featuring. Pick 4 games, get a 5th one free to ignite your natitude. They start at just $60. Nationals.com/flex. Some restrictions do apply. So nobody out here in the 4th. And the complexion of the game changes in an instant. Miguel Montero singled to left his first time. Some pretty smart hitting. Kubel to left for a base hit. Montero went that way his first time. By the way, that was the Diamondbacks' 25th home run of the year. I think Milwaukee and St. Louis, the only teams with more. St. Louis 27. Milwaukee 32. Colorado at least 27, because we know Jason Giambi hit a walk-off 3-run homer for them against the Dodgers today.
Still getting it done.
Paul Goldschmidt, big and strong, only 1 homer so far. Right now, Edwin needs to get an out, maybe 2.
First time out, Montero got a fastball after a curveball and was all over it. Hit to right center field. Now he finds himself ahead in the count, 2-1. Count leverage, sitting on a fastball once again.
Short lead by Kubel. Long pause by Jackson. And he locks up the hitter on a good breaking ball, diving down and in.
So you're hitting the count 2-1. You hit a fastball your first time up. Line drive single. What do you get 2-1 this time? Slider in the dirt. Good pitch. He was convinced that was a fastball until he started his swing.
Kinetic North America on the pitch track, providing world-class technology and responsive solutions to government customers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bouncer right side. It sneaks through. Kubel heading for third. And that's the 19th hit by the Diamondbacks in this series already. First and third, nobody out.
And I'm beginning to think it's hard to set Miguel Montero up because he was on a fastball again right here with 2 strikes. See LaRoche coming hard off the base. That's a good effort right there by Adam, but that ball had eyes. And it was a fastball in, and look at him just pull the hands in, just get enough of the barrel on the baseball. Get himself his 2nd knock of the night and 4th of the series.
Well, the Nats' lead has been turned into a tie, and now the Diamondbacks trying to go on top here with nobody out. 3 consecutive hits. And going back to Parra in the 3rd inning, 4 of the last 5 Arizona hitters have hit safely. Paul Goldschmidt had that little dribbler down the third baseline for a hit his first time.
And sometimes you can get a guy off a fastball, meaning if he swings and misses at an off-speed pitch, they'll switch their game plan and go to the off-speed pitch. But with Montero twice tonight, he missed a curveball first time up, got a fastball next pitch. Missed a slider right there, got a fastball next pitch. That tells me he doesn't care. He's sitting fastball every count, all the time, never getting off it.
Good hitting. Good fastball there. Nats will take a ground ball, double play, and exchange it for a run if it's hit to the middle infielders. Paul Goldschmidt, 24 years of age, grew up not too far from here, Wilmington, Delaware, and his family moved to Houston. He went to Texas State and was taken in the 8th round 3 years ago by the Diamondbacks. That ball is really hit hard, slicing toward the corner and out of play.
And Goldschmidt, a guy that has a crazy amount of pop, has 2 infield singles in this series already. We've seen hit some balls in the gap, some tape measure home runs, and that's just a flick of the wrist.
That's what you guys call dropping the bat head right there?
Yeah. Look at the head right there, buried in the strike zone. Pretty good swing, just a little late.
He's big and strong, and they list him at 6'3", 244. A breaking ball. Had a good part of the plate, but Goldschmidt late for it. So after the Upton homer, Kubel singled to left, and then he scampered over to third on the seeing eye base hit by Miguel Montero. Two after a long pause. He made an offer. The appeal, no swing, says Tim Cheetah.
Let's check it out one more time from the side. Did he go? You make the call. Held up.
Edwin slowing things down here. Trying to get that breaking ball to bite on, but he can't. Full count now. Ryan Roberts is next. Roberts hit that ball 2 innings ago, on which Lombardozzi made the spectacular play.
If I remember right, there was a game here last year with the D-backs where it was Roberts versus Zimmerman at third base for a number of circus plays.
Diamondbacks won the season series last year, 5-3. Kind of funny, in their 5 wins, they outscored the Nationals 20-3. In the Nationals' 3 wins, they outscored Arizona 19-6. So there weren't many tight games between these two clubs last year. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That one is lashed out to center. This could be interesting. The tag by Kubel, and he's going back. 1 out. Thank you, Bryce Harper. The word is getting around in a hurry.
Well, how could it not? It's been on every highlight reel for 2, 3, 4 straight days. So didn't get the call last night. Didn't throw the guy out in Dodger Stadium. But maybe those 2 throws dictated that Kubel doesn't go. What a throw. And he got behind this one, had the momentum, and lost the arm strength.
Yeah, a little bit up the line, but he got it out in a hurry.
Check out the reach back, the form, the velocity. He was looking somewhere in the Nationals dugout and still threw it right on the money.
Yeah, hitters talking about throwing the head out. That's a center fielder throwing the head out.
Oh, that Exmo, I'll tell you.
That's a breaking ball strike from Jackson to Ryan Roberts. Ballpark still buzzing about what it just saw.
Oh, that ball was in the air. I was getting excited. Yeah, I mean, you were making the call, the play-by-play, and I'm over here going, please tag up, please tag up. I want to see this throw.
Fastball up. We'll see if that gets Jackson a little supercharged here in the 4th inning and try to keep this a 1-1 game.
So here's your 1-1 count if you want to stay out of the double play.
And Roberts is a right field shooter kind of hitter. He moves the ball around quite a bit.
You can start Montero right here and stay out of the double play and get yourself a run.
He is holding. And a good breaking ball. One of Jackson's best of the night. Had Roberts all locked up.
And that's the count that gives hitters the most problems. It's the biggest count to me, the 1-1 count. If you could lay off a borderline pitch and get to 2-1, it's a huge advantage. But if you swing at a ball in the dirt, all of a sudden it's a 1-2 count and you're up against it.
Well hit left field. Xavier Nady, and that's too deep to throw home. That ball was really hit hard, and Arizona leads 2-1. Ryan Roberts with his 9th RBI. I think the bottom line is when you look at the balls put in play in this inning, Edwin hasn't fooled anybody except for the little ground ball that snuck through the right side. The other 4 have been pretty well hit.
Well, he had him in a 1-2 count. He was looking for the strikeout. And he left it up, and a nice piece of hitting by Roberts to get the sac fly and put his team ahead.
Here's the number 8 man, the shortstop, John McDonald, who bounced out to Lombardozzi first time. In the air to left, and Nady can camp under this one. Considering it was 1st and 3rd with nobody out, Edwin Jackson does well to limit them to 2 runs. This is as quick as we've ever seen George Washington. A very quick finish. And then they were taunting Mark Grace of the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have the racing ball players out in Arizona. And Mark Grace is the Teddy Roosevelt of the D-backs. He's never won a race. So they were taunting him, and he said, bring it on. Nice going, guys. Take the Nats with you wherever you go this season. It's MLB.tv. Every out-of-market game live online. That means when you're out of our market, you can still watch your Nationals on your favorite device in HD quality. Visit Nationals.com to get more details and to order. So Davey Johnson's offense has to get geared up again here. Adam LaRoche leads off, and the Diamondbacks on top. Shift is on. Not a huge one against a left-hander. And we've seen LaRoche flip some line drives to left field in situations like this. But they work him inside after getting ahead.
That's kind of exactly the way they play right-handers. Instead of taking their first baseman and putting him at second base, they're taking their third baseman and putting him at shortstop. Same way.
Xavier Nady, then Danny Espinosa. And LaRoche called out on strikes. Joe Saunders' fourth strikeout tonight. LaRoche twice. Let's have a look at our PNC Minor League Report solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC for the achiever in you. David Freitas, the catcher at Potomac. He's out of the University of Hawaii, a 15th rounder just 2 years ago. In 10, he had 307 at Vermont, 288 at Hagerstown last year. And he kind of blossomed last year with power. 13 homers and 73 RBIs. A race to the bag, and they're confident the pitcher will get there, playing a big shift on Xavier Nady. And 2 quick outs. That'll be 3-1 over there.
If you've heard me before, I'm not big on shifts, but I kind of like this one the Diamondbacks are doing. Because you think of the percentage of balls that go between the first baseman and the line or the bag.
Yeah.
And you think about the percentage of baseballs that go in that 4.5 hole between where the first baseman normally plays and the second baseman, and vice versa with the lefty up. How many balls actually go between the third baseman and the third base bag? So why not with a lefty up, move him into the 5.5 hole between short and third? I kind of like this.
Yeah, a lot more balls off the line than near the line. No doubt about that. By the way, his bench coach, Kirk Gibson, is the great Alan Trammell. Wonderful baseball man who had 20 years with the Tigers, hit 285, playing next to Lou Whitaker. He was managing the Tigers when they were losing 100, 120 games a year with all those young guys. And then about the time they turned the corner, his organization turned their back on him and hired Jim Leland. I don't think Alan ever got enough credit for helping develop that team into what it would eventually become.
And I think I told this story on the air last year when the Nationals played the Diamondbacks, but Alan Trammell was my favorite player growing up. My high school ID card had my picture and the name said Alan Trammell on it. And I still have it today.
Wow.
The lady asked me, what's your name? I said, Alan Trammell. So she typed it on my high school
ID card. Well, guess what, buddy? You'd have 1,003 RBIs all of a sudden.
I wish.
And 185 home runs.
There he is, Tram. Great guy.
One of the nicest men in baseball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Danny Espinosa, we told you, man, he just needs to get down to first base, and he does. So he's there with 2 outs, and that'll get Bryce Harper to the plate. And you never know what's going to happen next with this guy.
I mean, it's must-see TV. Whatever you're doing at home, this guy comes to the plate. You got to sit down and watch.
Infield hit first time up. He's 3 for 10 as a big leaguer. Turns on that one, and that's a foul ball. With Goldschmidt holding the runner, the only kind of ball he can't reach, had to be foul.
Crazy game, isn't it? Probably the 2 guys with the most pop in this game, Paul Goldschmidt and Bryce Harper, both have infield singles. And he was on that pitch right there. See Goldschmidt popping off the bag? Clearly foul.
Espinosa hasn't been on base enough this year to really get his running game going. He's 0 for 1 in steals. Danny can move it on the bases. 17 steals in 23 attempts last year. Doesn't hurt to have Saunders distracted by the runner. But you certainly don't want to run yourself out of an inning with a guy like this in the batter's box. And Harper just taps that one. That pitch was up and in. And the count 0-2.
And sometimes as a base runner, if a guy throws over 3 times in a row, a lefty, he kind of paints himself into a corner to where you'll say, if you throw over 4 times in a row, you got me. And lefties usually, most of them, I'd say 95% of them are predetermined, meaning they're either going to first or going home. They're not reading you. They can't choke it off and throw to first if they're thinking about going home. So a lot of times a manager won't throw over 3 times in a row, because who throws 4 times in a row and you're setting yourself up for a first move?
Target away. That mean a big sweeping breaking ball. The runner going, and it's ball 1, and Espinosa without a play to second base.
So maybe in all those moves to first base and a couple of pitches to home, Danny Espinosa, Trent Jewett doing a nice job of picking something up. Great jump by Espinosa right there. Montero had no shot.
And the other thing is that pitch was over the plate and low, and Harper didn't even just make a move at all on it. So he has shown us a good batting eye so far. Now a base hit could tie the game. And he takes a breaking ball that's outside, 2-2.
Remember the good arms in the Diamondbacks outfield. Parra is the best. Upton's got a good arm, and Kubel with all the assists. So on a hard hit ball, Danny Espinosa is going to have to hustle.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And a little daylight, but no throw. They can do that because against the left-hander, McDonald plays up the middle. Not that far to get to the bag.
Boy, with 2 outs and 2 strikes, I want my pitcher concentrating on the hitter, not the runner.
Outside, 3-2, and it's turning into a very good at bat for Bryce Harper.
A lot of talk about Bryce Harper versus lefties, but from what we've seen so far this year, he's picking up that off speed, that curveball very well. He's seeing it early. Just teasing the outside of the strike zone with the curveball, and that's a couple of good takes.
And a 3-2, and Harper gets under it. And how far is this one going? It is off the scoreboard. The game is tied, and Bryce Harper doubles.
Takes the borderline pitches to get himself into a 3-2 count and put some kind of charge into that baseball, and he lit this crowd up. Unbelievable. Must-see TV. It's that simple.
4 for 11 as a major leaguer.
Got a fastball inside, right onto his barrel. He just missed his first home run. It's hard to tell where it hit on the wall. I think he thought he had one right there. He turned on the afterburners, a little fist pump. And that, folks, is a great at-bat. I don't care who you are.
First big league extra base hit, second RBI. And now Wilson Ramos could put the Nats back on top. The pitcher is next, so Saunders surely will be careful here. Ramos single to left field his last time up. And he hits it, and it eats up to second baseman Aaron Hill. Here comes Harper on his way home, and he's going to be safe. The ball got away. The Nationals lead 3-2, and Harper's making things happen all over this diamond.
I was talking to him today before the game, and I said, you know what? You don't have to go 5 for 5 every game. It's about your energy that you bring to this ball club right now. It's not about your numbers. It's about you lighting the crowd up, you lighting your teammates up, and you see it right here. Great job, Bo Porter. This ball just trickles away from Hill, and he says, you know what? Harper's fast. I'm going to take a chance with 2 outs. And look at Bryce Harper just sneaking in right there.
Knocked the ball right out of the mid, FP.
And you could do that. That's fair game. I mean, it's just like running into the catcher. How about that sequence? Are you kidding me?
Hey, this inning's not over yet with Edwin Jackson batting. What an impact on one inning a teenager can have.
And check out the hustle right here from Bryce Harper. He's thinking, all right, I'm going to score anyways. Him and Bo Porter on the same page. You go hard to the bag you already got. It gives the third base coach a chance to send you. That's just hustle, folks. It doesn't get any better than that.
Jackson chops at a breaking ball. What an inning for the Nats. What an inning for Bryce Harper. 2 runs and Washington back on top.
I had to catch my breath. To get to a 3-2 count. Dropped some serious head on a fastball in, and look how close he was to his first big league tater. You see it right there at the top of the fence. A little ricochet piece. Hustle into second, little fist pump, and he lit this crowd up, he lit his teammates up, and he lit us up. And then Wilson Ramos with a bullet of his own that knocked down Aaron Hill, and it just trickles that far away, and that's all it took to score Bryce Harper from second base. And that's all about hustle, just getting to third base. Bo Porter sending him. Look at the determination, look at the hustle. And good things happen when you play this game hard.
That ball was in the mid of Miguel Montero, and Harper knocked it out. He missed the plate, so he had to go back and tag it. And the Nats lead 3-2. Saunders leads off top of the 5th, and what an inning that was. And by the way, we'll explain the top of that scoreboard here in a moment when we get a chance, because when Nationals Park first opened in 08, there was a lot of confusion out there about balls just like that. That was in the ballpark where that hit. Here's Saunders, who bounced out to LaRoche first time, and that's over but low. What they did was they put the green strip that went across. It was actually kind of an aluminum strip, but the Nationals had that painted green so the ball would be easier to spot, and so that makes that call a whole lot easier for the umpires. Anything above the green is out of here.
You explained that very well, but can you explain to me how a 19-year-old has that kind of at bat off a guy that's leading the National League in ERA?
11-year age difference.
Unbelievable.
Top of the order now, Gerardo Parra, then Aaron Hill. Parra 1 for 2, base hit last time, and he was picked off. Each pitcher has picked off a runner. And a breaking ball is in there. Edwin Jackson needs a nice shutdown inning here. Last time he faced a position player, right after getting a lead, he gave up a home run. That's good. He had Parra reaching. Espinosa over to grab it. And 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning. Find out why the government is turning to STG at stginc.com. And pitch selection, early career and now later career.
Well, I think you see the evolution of a pitcher. Maybe when Edwin Jackson was younger in 2008, he just relied on that 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. But as you get older, you realize that your secondary pitches, like the slider, changeup, and curveball, are just as important.
By the way, in 2008, he won more games than any other season during his career, 14. But the league didn't know him that well. Aaron Hill has struck out, flied to right. And the count's even, 1-1. By the way, the Nats got some help this afternoon. The Mets were beaten 8-1 at Houston. Phillies lead 4-0, 4th inning at Atlanta. And the Marlins at San Fran later tonight. That ball is crushed into the glove of Lombardozzi. You want a little bit of everything? What does the second half of this game have in store tonight? Well, those kids are watching the start of a new career here. They can say, I was like, what, 6, 7 years old when Bryce Harper came on the scene? See how it all works out. Hopefully their future as bright as his. Bottom of the 5th, Ian Desmond 1 for 2 with a double. Shows bunt again. I like the way Desmond's done that twice tonight, just to get some fielders moving around. He is, after all, a leadoff guy with speed.
But sometimes you do that too, just so you won't swing. You know, sometimes I used to get in the swing mode, and just to take a pitch, I'd square around, because that's the only way you can stop yourself from swinging.
Well, you never know what might ignite a ball club. 3 runs on 6 hits tonight, after the Nats were stopped 1 run on 6 hits last night. Manager's always waiting for something to light a fire and get that offense cracking. Maybe Harper's the one who does it tonight. Don't forget about the nice 2-out at bat by Danny Espinosa to extend that inning. A hitter struggling mightily who did something to help his ball club. Then he stole second. And by the way, Wilson Ramos is 2 for 2. So Harper and Ramos are 4 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Desmond strikes out. It is Wireless Wednesday. So how about Tyler Moore's comments on a guy he played with at Syracuse, young Mr. Harper?
He deserves all that. He's a great player. I mean, I think one of the best that's ever, like they say, he's got all 5 tools. And I like flying on the radar. It's great for me. I just want to be here to help this team win and help this team keep doing what they're doing.
Well spoken by the young man from Brandon, Mississippi, also called up over the weekend. So Tyler Moore and Ryan Perry will go down as the 2 most anonymous Nationals call-ups ever. On the same weekend, Harper showed up in L.A. Change up outside from Saunders, and the count's even 1-1. Steve Lombardozzi having quite a night himself. 1 for 2 with an RBI double. That was an off-speed pitch that really slowed down his bat. Easy fly ball. Kubel, 2 outs. Tom Gorzolani warming up. Edwin Jackson's only thrown 65 pitches, but he has been in and out of trouble in 3 consecutive innings. He did get a 1-2-3 fifth, but that ball by Aaron Hill was really hit hard, and there have been some hard hit balls by this potent Diamondback lineup tonight.
He's coming off an outing where he threw 105 pitches last time out in San Diego. So
yeah, that's that 100+ thing we talk about all the time, right?
Hey, you throw 100 pitches. How do you do next time out? I think for Edwin Jackson tonight, he fought, he battled, he did what he had to do. I don't know if he's done yet, but if he is, he challenged hitters, he threw strikes.
And they've got 3, 4, 5 coming up. Worth hits one out to right center. Shallow on the run and getting there, Gerardo Parra. And the Nats go 1-2-3. 3-2 Washington into the 6th. Against the Nats. Edwin Jackson 1-2 career against the Diamondbacks. And Lombardozzi and Harper, the kids are having a huge impact on this one tonight.
Well, the 4th inning was all about Bryce Harper. Danny Espinosa with the big walk and a stolen base after reading a bunch of throwovers, got in scoring position for this double. Just missed his first big league homer. He's fired up. Little salute back to the dugout. Then Wilson Ramos with the line drive right at Aaron Hill. Look out, and Bryce Harper hustling around to score the run. And that's old school, folks. We've been told that Bryce Harper's old school. He's not afraid of contact. He's not afraid to break up a double play. And that's a good example right there, going to get the catcher to knock the ball loose.
Yeah, he didn't know the ball was out. He looked at the catcher, saw he didn't have it, spotted the ball, got back to home plate. And here we are in the 6th inning. How many hitters will Edwin Jackson face here? 2 lefties coming up. Upton homered last time up. And he'll get sent backwards with a high-tight fastball. And I'd say that's a pretty good answer. Now let's see how you follow it up.
Didn't he get hit a few times last year in Arizona?
That's right. We did have a little excitement out there, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous lefty on deck. Kubel's having a fine series. That's a slider that stays up high. And Jason Marquis got ejected from a ball game after hitting a batter out there. Saunders hit Jason Worth in a game out there. And that looks like a pretty unhappy hitter. Upton down to first base. That's the first walk issued by Edwin Jackson tonight. So Upton had that homer last time up. RBI later in the inning by Ryan Roberts on a laser beam sac fly to left field. Yuneski Maya also hit a batter in Arizona. That was Upton, who was hit twice in one game by Maya and Cole Kimball. There were 7 hitters drilled in that series.
Dodgeball series.
0-1 to Kubel. It's been a tough out. Taking the ball to left field twice tonight. One a fly ball and one a line drive hit.
Edwin Jackson doing a nice job of, after a 4-pitch walk to Upton, getting ahead of the count 0-1. Sometimes you lose the release point. You get in the stretch, you throw something off speed, it slows you down and keeps you back.
Good looking fastball. That was a beauty on the inside corner. There is nothing Kubel could do with this one on the Nissan pitch track.
Yeah, 95 paint on the inner half. Pitch track likes it, and so did we.
Go get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation. You can count on innovation for all. No outs, 2 strikes, a runner at first, top 6.
And you saw Jackson hold his stretch right there when he came set. Well, he picked somebody off like that tonight, and you're just seeing if Upton's going to go, maybe hang himself. Sometimes base stealers get antsy out there, and if you hold your set position, they'll start to leave. You just step off and pick them off.
Kubel, by the way, coming into this game, highest batting average for any player who switched leagues during the offseason. Out hitting Jed Lowry of Houston, Prince Fielder, Melky Cabrera now with the Giants, and Michael Kadire now with Colorado. 338 to start tonight. Lowry the only other guy over 300 at 303. After 7 years with the Twins, he evidently likes National League pitching. Runner going, 1-2, foul ball. In fact, the little item I just read said Kubel has taken to National League pitching like a snake to the desert. Who says stat guys aren't clever? He is a pretty good Diamondback rattlesnake right now. I told you he had some big years with Minnesota. The biggest was 2009 when he hit 28 homers, drove in 103, and he hit 300 for the Twins. It took him in the 12th round 12 years ago out of Belforche, South Dakota. Jackson missing away, 2-2.
It's a good take on the changeup right there. Looked like a fastball, dropped off the table at the end. He picked it up early.
There is lots of action left in this game. 12 hits, 5 runs. Nats lead by a run. That ball is drilled, heading for the gap out there, and Harper over to cut it off, falls down. All's well for the first out. That looked like it was going a lot farther off the bat.
Well, that's a guy that hasn't played a lot of center field, and what happened on that ball from Kubel is it tailed back to Bryce Harper. You see it right here. It's a great shot, guys. It's going to come back to him. So he's thinking, I got to run and cut this ball off in the gap, and at the last second, it tailed right back to him. And he was there in plenty of time, almost overran it. And that's why you use 2 hands, kids, right there. And he basically caught that with his bare hand. Doubles off the wall, scoring from second.
Yeah, what else is new?
On balls that barely get away from the second baseman. Now I'm just going to catch the ball with my bare hand in center field.
By the way, for those of you who keep track of things during a ball game, I just noticed that Arizona has an error tonight, and they gave Montero an error when Harper knocked that ball out of his mitt. I thought Ramos had an RBI on that, but they say no. The run counts, and the Nats lead 3-2.
We're watching Roy Hobbs before the gunshot wound right now.
Didn't Roy Hobbs want to be the best there ever was?
It's early, but it's so hard not to get this excited about what we've seen in 4 baseball games.
No balls, 1 strike to Montero, who's had 2 great at bats tonight. This guy really stays in the ball. Nice left field stroke. Hits it with authority. 2 for 2 tonight, and 4 for 7 in the series, with 3 singles, a double, and RBI. Paul Goldschmidt is next, and he stung it last time to Harper out in center.
A long way to go in this game, and obviously there's one more game in this series, but how's Friday night shaping up? Phillies in town, Strasburg on the mound.
Hey, they get the Nationals' 3 best bolts: Strasburg, Gonzalez, and Zimmerman.
Harper in left or center or wherever. I'm in.
And of course, the Philly fans who come here love Jason Worth. The 0-2. Fastball up and away. I'll tell you one thing, if he's still with the Major League club, Bryce Harper's first visit to Philadelphia will be interesting.
He'll be here.
One ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss on a pitch diving down. Strikeout number 3, and his first K since the first inning.
Man, where do you go to this time? We talked about it the first 2 times with Montero. He's not going to get off the fastball. He's all about number 1. He pulled the string with the slider right there. And it was obvious to me he was thinking fastball in. He pulled off. It worked the first 2 times. That time, Edwin Jackson got him.
Here's Goldschmidt, who's dribbled a single down the third baseline and lined out hard to center. Jackson battling and battling to get through 6 innings here.
The starting pitcher, if you go out and throw 6 innings of 6-hit ball and give up 2 runs, you're going to win a lot of baseball games.
And 80 pitches don't seem like a lot, but there have been very few sequences for him without pressure tonight. Innings under stress.
And Davey Johnson taking a look at Upton at first. An 0-1 count as a manager right here in a 1-run baseball game. You have the opportunity to pitch out if you think he's going.
He is. Nats don't pitch out. Ramos' throw is late, and Upton is in there with his 5th steal of the year and his 2nd in this series.
Pretty good jump right here, and there was a little flinch on the throw over before. You see the look in right there to see if the ball's put in play, but oh, did he come off the base there at the end?
He might have been tagged while off the base.
Check this out, the very end of the play. Stay with us, guys, if we got time. It looks like he popped up off the base and there was nothing on the base, right? Nope. Looked like he got back there with his foot.
And a swing and a drive to right. Worth going back and back. Cannot get it. And this game is tied again. Goldschmidt going the other way. 3-3 game. And the leadoff walk comes back to hurt. This is probably the best offense the Nats have faced this season so far.
Yeah, slider that didn't slide down and away. Goldschmidt all over it. And the stolen base by Upton comes back to haunt Edwin Jackson and the Nationals. Tie ball game.
Yeah. Here's Ryan Roberts. When you look at all the teams the Nationals have played so far, man, these guys can hack. 20 hits in 2 games. Target in. And a ground ball left side gets through. And Arizona is going to take the lead. Nady lets it get away. And that'll give an extra 90 feet to the hitter. It's 4-3 Arizona. Xavier had no chance for a play at the plate. So base hit, RBI, E7.
And all of a sudden, Edwin Jackson looks to me like he's getting a little bit tired. Xavier Nader peeks up a little bit early. The ball goes underneath his glove. And like you said, partner, he nailed it. There was no play at the plate. That one just has to go into second base and keep the runner at first.
So now it's number 8 hitter, John McDonald, who's 0 for 2. Borzolani was warmed up and has sat down. And now Craig Stammen is up. They're going to walk McDonald, face Saunders, give Stammen more time. And this will be the second walk of the inning and the night for Edwin Jackson. So it'll be 2 on, 2 out. 4th base runner of the inning. Saunders, a ground ball to first and a pop up to short. So at least tonight, it's a matter of putting the offense together with some good pitching. And Edwin twice now has been unable to hold the lead. Plenty of ball game left. 4, 5, and 6 coming up in the 6th. Had a good fastball to the outside corner.
And I would imagine this is Jackson's last hitter either way.
Started this inning at 65 pitches. The next one will be his 25th of this inning. So he's at 90 with 2 outs in the 6th. '78, '92, '89. Then, as FP mentioned, 105. His pitch totals his first 4 starts. And Ramos shaken up by that low fastball, fouled.
And still got a big out to get here if you're Edwin Jackson. And Sanders last year hit 197, had 12 hits and 61 at bats, had a double and 4 RBIs. So 197 for a pitcher is a good average.
"11 pitches, then 15, then just 7. 25 pitches in that 2-run 4th. Only 7 in the 5th, and now another marathon here in the 6th. One ball and 2 strikes. And LaRoche will take that one right to the bag. And the top of the 6th is over. A tough one for the Nats. Giving up the lead again. 4-3 ball game now after 5.5. To you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. It's a gorgeous night in our nation's capital. Weather is held off. The Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and Crystal City in the background. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time. It's later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. LaRoche, Nady, Espinoza, bottom of the 6th. The Nats have scored a run in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th. And the 2 guys with 2 hits each, Harper and Ramos, so the bottom of the order really producing tonight. And of course, Lombardozzi, that big RBI double in the 3rd. Here's Adam LaRoche, who's 0 for 2 tonight and suddenly 0 for 6 in this series, after he was amazing on the road trip.
In the 4th inning, the Nationals answered the Diamondbacks 2 runs with 2 of their own. See if they can do it again here in the 6th.
LaRoche was coming off a 10 for 23 road trip to San Diego and Los Angeles. Working against a pitcher who set a Diamondbacks record for ERA in April at the 0.90 mark. Randy Johnson 0.91 in 2000. And then Johnson, Dan Herron, and Brandon Webb had the other 3 lowest April ERAs for the D-backs.
He's off to a good start. When you talk to the Diamondbacks people, they'll tell you his body language is different this year. Confidence is up, standing bigger on the mound. Last year when things went south for him, he kind of slump his shoulders a little bit and say, here we go again. This year, a different guy.
Mound presence, huh?
Yeah, much better.
Has to come to LaRoche on 3-1, and Adam rifles one to center field. You knew he wasn't going to stay hitless for long, and that's Adam LaRoche, 28th hit of the year.
I think when you think of Adam LaRoche this year, the one thing he's done so well is made adjustments from at-bat to at-bat, to where maybe he strikes out once or doesn't get a hit one time and looks bad on a certain pitch. He'll get it the next at-bat and make the adjustment. You see it right there.
Boy, doesn't he have a classic-looking left-handed swing?
He does. It's smooth, just like his glove at first.
Here's Xavier Nady. Runner going, and that's a perfect throw. LaRoche is out. Was there a missed sign there?
No, that was the sneak attack. He'll do that every now and then. He's tried a couple of times this year, and I think the ball's been fouled off. Every once in a while with LaRoche, if you don't pay attention to him, he'll try to go. Just go in first move, guess and go. The one thing he probably could have done a little bit better is extended his lead. If you're going to go sneak attack, you're betting that they're not going to throw over. And look at the throw by Montero. One of the better defensive catchers in baseball.
Well, I'll tell you something that backs that up. He's now 7 of 12 against opposing base runners.
That was from his knees. I love Benito Santiago, excuse me.
Yeah, make it 7 of 13. Espinosa did swipe one earlier tonight. And then Nady hits a fly ball out to right field for Justin Upton. Xavier Nady is 0 for 3 tonight. And don't forget, tomorrow night, Diamondbacks and the Nats will wrap up this series. And the first 20,000 fans receive a drawstring backpack presented by MLB Network. And to receive the giveaway item, make sure you enter the ballpark through the center field gates. Go to nationals.com/tickets, and we're talking north entrance right off of Half Street to get your backpack.
We need to get one of those for our radio buddy, Dave Jagler.
I'll let you explain that one.
Oh, he likes to get his water off the airplane, and he usually uses one of the bags from the hotel to pile up the agua. We'll get him one of those. That's styling.
That would be a nice item. They would call that a can of corn to center. Caught by Parra. Nats go 1-2-3 after the base hit. 7th inning coming up. Max grabbed it back. Then it all happened over again. Bob and FP, 7th inning coming up. Nats into the bullpen. Craig Stammen will take over in a moment. Edwin Jackson, not his best night, but he did battle and get through 6 innings.
That's great, but Bryce Harper's leading off the bottom of the 7th.
That's all you care about,
He's
right?
coming up right here, bottom of the 7th. Bryce Harper's going to lead off, but Edwin Jackson didn't have his best stuff tonight. He battled through it, and his team's in the game. I mean, they're right there, down by 1. What else could you do?
Generate some more offense. I mean, the Nats need one of those games when they get double-digit hits. They score 5 or 6 runs. The bullpen closes something out, and tonight could be that night, hopefully.
And you're watching the at-bats, and I think overall they've been better tonight. More aggressive with a game plan. Guys are taking hacks early in the count, trying to get something going, and that's all you can ask. A team that's been struggling, they've pushed 3 runs across so far.
Craig Stammen, one of the better guys out of the bullpen so far this year, 9th appearance. He will face the top of the Diamondbacks order in the 7th. Gerardo Parra, Aaron Hill, and Justin Upton. 92 pitches, 58 strikes for Jackson in 6 innings when he gave up 4 earned runs. First pitch swinging, Parra to Hopper, Adam LaRoche. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Aaron Hill is 0 for 3. Craig Stammen has been a strike thrower so far this season. 12 strikeouts in 10 2/3 innings. So a 3-1 between the strikeouts and the walks, and opponents only hitting .211 off him. And Craig, I think, has found a role that he's comfortable with. He kind of likes coming to the ballpark almost every day, thinking he has a chance to work after being pretty much a starter his entire career.
Yeah, and the slider's been the pitch for him this year that's been outstanding. And you see the movement on the fastball. We've had some good shots with the Exmo center field cam of the 2-seam fastball that tails into righties. You go with that and throw a curveball in the change. You go with that nasty slider. And, you know, it doesn't have a lot of tilt to it, meaning it doesn't sweep across. It's more of a slider that goes straight down with just a little bit of tilt. He'll throw it to righties off the plate away, and he'll throw it down and into lefties with 2 strikes.
That's a good looking 2-strike pitch there.
Yeah, the curveball will be in the high 70s. The slider will be in the mid 80s. The curveball is more straight down. The slider just a little bit across at the very end.
Justin Upton is next. Well, it may be important to shut down the Diamondbacks tonight. During their 3-game winning streak, they've had at least 10 hits in each of those games. They have 8 hits tonight, trying to make it 4 straight. And a 3-2. Fastball hit well. I mean, this team, you put the ball out over the plate, they will hit the ball hard. That's 9 more hits tonight. And up comes Upton, who's homered, walked, scored twice.
Over the last 9 games since April 22nd, coming in tonight, a major league best 297 average, 91 for 306. It's a 367 on base percentage to go with it. That ranks 2nd.
They raised their team batting average 5 points last night, which is hard to do. And they're right now probably raised it 4 to 5 more points this evening. So they're up in the mid 250s. Arizona this year has scored 113 runs now. The Nationals have scored 78. I'm sure they'd love to have our pitching staff. And the Nats would love to have their offensive numbers. Kirk Gibson's team can hack. Target is in. Better get it in there. Boy, Stammen sure did. What a great pitch. Ramos able to turn his back on the infield and grab that one straight on. 2 outs. We mentioned tomorrow night Ian Kennedy and Ross Detweiler. The Phillies are in for the weekend. Steven Strasburg and Kyle Kendrick Friday. Saturday day game, Gio Gonzalez and Vance Worley. And then Sunday night, another good matchup, Jordan Zimmerman and Cole Hamels, before the Nats enjoy an off day Monday and then head on to PNC Park. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati on the next road trip. Jason Kubel 1 for 3. Runner goes. Ramos' throw is off to the left field side. Now that base was stolen on the pitcher. And to be honest, Ramos not throwing the ball that well this year. He's 1 out of 18, but he's not getting a whole lot of help at times either.
Yeah, pretty good jump by Hill right there. He saw the head down. He didn't even look in to see if there was contact being made. And as a hitter, he'll definitely take a strike with 2 outs to let a man get in scoring position for you. And that was a good job of taking a pitch by Kubel. He knew his base runner got a good jump. Let him get in a scoring position.
By the way, the Nationals on the year have stolen just 9 bases. That's the fewest in the National League. They've given up 17. That ball hit hard. LaRoche knocks it down. Stammen to the bag in time for the 3rd out. Well played. In case you haven't heard, Bryce Harper is leading off the bottom of the 7th.
Show all night long, the hustle infield single, the throw from center field right on the money, and then the double off the wall. We thought it might have been his first big league home run, but he'll settle for a double and RBI. And check out the hustle play from second. Little contact with Miguel Montero, knocking the ball loose for a big run, and then I don't need my glove, I'll just use my bare hand. That's, kids, exactly why you use 2 hands. And have a night, Bryce Harper.
And it may be far from over. Here's our game summary. Edwin Jackson battles through 6. Justin Upton, a big home run for them. Harper, a big night for the Nats. And here we go, bottom 7. Harper, Ramos, and then a pinch hitter for Craig Stammen, most probably, unless the Nats would somehow take the lead in these first 2 hitters.
Hit the fastball in last time. Let's see where Saunders goes right now.
Harper out to left center. And on the move to make that grab is Gerardo Parra. He's having some quality ABs, though, isn't he?
It's a good adjustment right there. Hit the fastball last time. Looked like he sat on the curveball first pitch that time, and he gave it a ride. Check it out one more time. You hit a fastball for a double, sit on a curveball, let it get deep, and just cut across it a hair. If he stays on that baseball and stays through it a hair longer, it's in the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Wilson Ramos 2 for 2 with a run scored. Wilson with a base hit to left, and then that one hopper that ate up Aaron Hill, the second baseman. You see Ramos, a very effective hitter when he stays on the ball and goes up the middle a lot. He is so big and strong. This is an interesting matchup. Saunders goes 2-0 here. There's a pinch hitter waiting.
He hasn't introduced himself to the red seats yet this season. Opposite field home run for his first of the year, but he hasn't hit his favorite target in left center yet.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Off speed. He'd have to supply all the power for that with Tyler Moore waiting here in the 7th inning. Off speed again. Last time Saunders pitched against the Nats was in Arizona. He only made it through 6 innings on 4 runs. Right-hander Brad Ziegler is throwing. But Saunders in a great position to give them 7 on the road tonight. Well, Ramos late, and that went right by the face of Tyler Moore. Whew.
That's why you got to be heads up in the on-deck circle. You never know.
A lot of these guys stand so close to home plate. That's close. Ball 3. Let's check out the kinetic pitch track.
What's pitch track say? I had it low. Pitch track didn't.
Ramos battles. Pitch number 91, clocked at 90 here in the 7th inning. Saunders trying to beat the Nationals for the 3rd time in 5 career starts.
Pretty good battle going on. Couple of fastballs that Ramos was on. Let's see if he goes to something else. 3-2.
There he goes with the heater and misses inside. Tying runs on base. Ramos on for the 3rd time. Let's check in again with Christina on Wireless Wednesday.
Well, earlier, Bob, we heard Tyler Moore talk about his buddy Bryce Harper, how they both came in on the same weekend, made it to the big leagues, and Moore talked about how he kind of flew under the radar this weekend. He said that's kind of his style, though. He's a low-key, small-town guy, and he's just happy to be here. Playing in a big city like Washington, though, is going to be a little bit of an adjustment to him.
I've been here a couple years before, just on different visits, but it's great. I mean, it's a lot of history. My dad he's here, and he ain't never seen the White House before, so he was tickled to death to be able to see that. I told him on a text, I said, listen, it's going to be a little bit out of your element when you come down, so kind of be ready for it.
Well, Tyler Moore made his major league debut Sunday in Los Angeles, and after grounding to third his first time up, he led off the 5th inning and got some good wood on this one against the left-hander Capuano.
And they stayed inside a fastball, nice, drove it to right center field. And don't forget his first time up, he hit a couple of bombs foul in the upper deck. So we know all about the pop, and that's what he's being sent up to do right now.
And he'll be doing it against the Arizona bullpen as they call on Brad Ziegler here. So Tyler Moore, as a big league hitter, 1 for 3. It'll be his first pinch hitting appearance. And you've talked about this. We talked about it over the weekend. He's the Paul Goldschmidt of the Nationals. Put up monster home run and RBI numbers in the minor leagues. 84 career minor league home runs with 336 RBIs in 468 games.
31 in 2010, 31 in 2011. In those 2 years, 202 RBIs combined. So for him, it's going to be a tough go off Ziegler. Ziegler is a sidearm guy, so he's going to have to pick up release point maybe on the first pitch and then go to work. I always used to tell my hitters when they faced a guy with a tough release point, maybe a sidearm guy or an underhand guy, try to find the window that the ball comes out of on the first pitch, and once you see that, go to work. So Ziegler, a 3-pitch guy, a fastball run the mid-80s, a slider in the mid-70s, and he's got a changeup to go with it.
32-year-old right-hander traded to Arizona from the Oakland organization for a couple of minor leaguers, infielder, pitcher. I tell you, Oakland and Arizona done a lot of wheeling and dealing to that last several years. The Dan Herron deal, then he was sent on to Anaheim that brought Joe Saunders in. Some kind of connection between Phoenix and the East Bay.
The A's like to call it a fire sale. The A's fans, I should say.
Yeah. They ever going to get their stadium straightened out there?
I have no idea.
All right, here's Tyler Moore from Ziegler. Guys who throw like this are incapable of throwing a ball absolutely straight. Everything is moving one way or the other or sinking.
Oh, he did just what I said. He picked up the release point. Now he knows where he's coming from. But his slider's a sweeper. It goes across, not down. It'll start right at you and come back for a strike or start over the plate and break away.
Yeah, kind of the ultimate Frisbee slider, right?
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ziegler's numbers pretty good. 9 1/3, only 8 hits. 9 strikeouts, but he's walked 5. But a 1.93 ERA, so he's not allowing guys to score. And pitchers like this usually have hitters pounding the ball into the dirt.
It's a tough job for a young player. We talk about Tyler Moore. He's used to playing every single day in the minor leagues. Probably hasn't pinch hit a whole lot. Now at the highest level, you're called upon after sitting around for 2.5 hours to go up there and deliver a big hit. Not easy.
There's that breaking ball. It came sweeping, and he threw it so slow it did have some dive to it. And that's the second out here in the 7th.
Check out the X-Bone. You see the release point gets underneath it.
Wow.
You called Frisbee, and that was a Frisbee. I think it was the change of speeds that got Tyler Moore more than the break. Way out in front.
It'll be up to Desmond, a free swinger himself, with 2 outs here. Ian figures if I see fastball, I'm hacking if it's anywhere near home plate. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-3 Diamondbacks. Nationals have 7 hits. And Desmond will pull that ball third base way for the charging Ryan Roberts. And it's on to the 8th inning. Saunders, a good start for the D-backs tonight. And it's 4-3 in D.C. Check out this day in history. Brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Make memories of your own this summer. Book your vacation at OCOcean.com. How about 1923 and 26 on this date? Shutout number 100, win number 400, and look at those numbers. 110 career shutouts for the man nicknamed the Big Train, who pitched his entire 21-year career for the Senators. Later would manage the Senators from 29 to 32, and the Indians.
And that was Johnny Holiday presenting the award.
By the way, that's all by a big margin the all-time leader in shutouts. 531 complete games. If anybody came out to take the Big Train out, he would just run right over them.
Well, back then, when it was your day to pitch, that was your position. You're just like a shortstop. You did it for 9 innings, no matter what.
Right side, Espinosa scrambling to his left, finds the ball, throws it by LaRoche, and then Ramos saves the runner from going to second base with a diving play at the top step of the dugout.
That's good hustle right there. Wilson Ramos saving Danny Espinosa an error and saving his team a runner on second base with no outs. Good effort by Espinosa. Might have had a little more time than he thought right here. Nothing LaRoche can do, and the hustle by Ramos keeps the ball from going in the dugout and the runner from going to second. That ball got him right in the head. Pretty good effort. Nice play.
Well, Danny Espinosa never lacks for that. So a base hit all the way for Montero. He's 3 for 4. Here's Goldschmidt, who's had 2 for 3 tonight. And the Diamondbacks are just relentless when it comes to offense here. Craig Stammen, by the way, in the game. That was a double switch when he came in. Tyler Moore has been in left field. So we retract our pinch hit statement. That was a regular game appearance, not a pinch hitting appearance. So a count of 1-1 to Goldschmidt. With Ryan Roberts waiting here in the 8th, and that's way outside.
You see the difference in that stop by Wilson Ramos and back to Los Angeles with Henry Rodriguez? That's a difference between 90 and 100. And he was able to get his glove across there and backhand that ball. When it's 90, it's tough. When it's 100, it's impossible.
That one is in there. And the count back even 2-2.
And I think we just heard Kurt Gibson all the way up here and what he thought about this call. Pretty good pitch. He thought it was low.
That's what he said, huh?
I heard him yell, "Come on, that's down," all the way up here.
2-2 pitch. And Stammen throws it right by Goldschmidt. His first strikeout. And as mentioned, he has been a strikeout pitcher this year.
And as a hitter, you have to protect down low. If an umpire is going to call a low strike, you have to go down there and protect with 2 strikes. And that's why Goldschmidt swung at this pitch, because of the previous call. Look, almost in the same spot.
Ryan Roberts, 2 RBIs. He's 1 for 2. He's going to run that one right back to the outside corner. That's left-hander Craig Breslow. Smothered by Ramos. While we're on the subject of strikeouts, I didn't know that Walter Johnson held the distinction of being the only pitcher with over 3,000 strikeouts for 50 years until Bob Gibson did it in 1974. And since then, others have come along to do that. How about the big train way back when? One ball, one strike. Slowly hit to Desmond. Espinosa to turn it on a 6-4-3. Well done by the Nationals. Their 12th double play of the year. 2, 3, and 4 coming up now. Bottom 8. Ball on Messin, brought to you by Dodge. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local Dodge dealer. How about tomorrow? The bridge over the Anacostia right behind Nationals Park. We're having a breeze coming up the river all night long, blowing in from the east in right field. And Steve Lombardozzi 1 for 3 with an RBI double and a busy night defensively.
It doesn't get the fanfare, doesn't get the hype. He's just a baseball player. Loves to get dirty, making all the plays tonight at third base. Got the big double for the first RBI of the game. So slowly but surely has been doing a nice job, and everybody in the dugout telling him that line drive caught you.
Lombardozzi is 12 for 39 with the bat this year. So he leads off. Worth and LaRoche to follow. Bottom of the 8th inning.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking a strike all the way right here. One-run baseball game. You're leading off the bottom of the 8th. Your job is to get this party started down by 1. And yeah, you take a leadoff double, but you'd also take a runner on here.
3-0. We said this last night. Leading off an inning, walks as good as a hit.
I mean, if this was me, I would take 2 strikes right here and fill it up. Let's see what he does. And Lombardozzi, he's an aggressive hitter. He'll probably be swinging right here, but there's nothing wrong with taking it to a full count.
He misses. Leadoff walk. Jason Worth is coming up. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And Dierks Bentley is coming on June 2nd. 4:05 game against the Braves. Free post-game concert. Tickets start as low as $10. You have to have a game ticket to enjoy the country western sounds of Dierks Bentley and his group. First of 3 post-game concerts for the year. Here's Worth. 0 for 3 tonight. And 1 for 6 with a walk on the homestand so far. Oh, he showed bunt and got some people moving.
Well, look where Roberts is playing him. Almost on the outfield grass at third base. It's a free hit if he bunts it hard. He doesn't even have to be a good bunt. Look at that.
And on top of that,
Bunt
FP,
right in there.
You have a left-handed hitter on deck who might be facing a right-hander for the first time tonight, although they do have the lefty Breslow ready if needed. A lot of things happening here. After LaRoche is the pitcher's spot. And other than Jesus Flores, because Tyler Moore has already been used, the only bats in the dugout are left-handed tonight, Anquillo, Bernardina, and Tracy.
Count again. Kirk Gibson with a little hit and run check, a throw over, then a step off to see if Lombardozzi flinches. And if he flinches, he's thinking hit and run, so he'll pitch out. It's the cat and mouse game that goes on late in a baseball game, especially a one-run game.
Worth will take ball two. Now this could be Ziegler's last hitter if he loses Worth. As I mentioned, LaRoche, and then what would have to be a left-handed pinch hitter. 2-1. Runner holding. Worth, fly ball, right field. Drifting to the line, Justin Upton. He makes the grab and drops it. Right up against the barrier, the Nats get a break. Ball slicing away from him just enough.
Check it out. We can't see that from up here, so this is the first time we're seeing it. It got him right in the heel of the glove. Jason Worth catches a break, and he got a pitch to hit right there. So now new life in a 2-2 count.
Two, and Worth will hit a high chopper to third. He's got a chance to beat that out. No throw, 2 on, nobody out.
I thought Roberts was playing deep, and it came back to haunt him with an infield single right there. If he's playing normal third base, Jason Worth is out, even though that ball was chopped off the plate pretty high. But the fact that he was playing almost back on the outfield grass enabled Jason Worth to get to first base. Look how far he has to come. The long run for that chopper, and that's a good no-throw. Jason Worth was safe all the way. And now Kirk Gibson's going to go to Breslow.
Yes, he is. Lefty-lefty matchups coming, starting with LaRoche in a moment. This call to the bullpen, packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Look at Craig Breslow. More on him in a moment. And a lefty-lefty matchup coming up. The Nationals of tomorrow are playing right now down at High 8 Ball in Woodbridge. The Potomac Nationals in the middle of a long homestand. Drink specials tomorrow, Saturday night. The best fireworks show in Northern Virginia. Right down I-95. 703-590-2311 or PotomacNationals.com. Chad Tracy is working on his bat in the on-deck circle. Craig Breslow coming in and will probably face LaRoche and Tracy. With 2 men aboard, nobody out, 1-run game here. And Breslow, 11th appearance, 2.38 ERA, 9 strikeouts, but 7 walks in 11 innings.
4-pitch guy, fastball, he'll cut the fastball. He's got a curveball he doesn't throw very often and a changeup to go with it. Fastball run up there in the low 90s.
That was a breaker outside. Adam LaRoche 1 for 3 tonight. Batting .315. Way outside, ball 2.
It's been so good in big situations this year of coming through, but number one, being patient. He always looking for his pitch in his spot, doesn't swing at anything else, and now he finds himself in a 2-0 count. And Chad Tracy facing lefty's not a big deal. He got a big hit in San Diego off a left-hander.
2-0. That's outside, ball 3.
Nothing will hack off a manager more than a guy coming in from the bullpen throwing balls.
High strike. Interesting development in the on-deck circle. Jesus Flores. Just when some announcers would say managers don't like to use their other catcher. Could be a decoy.
I never know. Get the right-hander in, bring in Chad Tracy.
And that one smoked into right, but right at Justin Upton. And no chance at all to advance for Lombardozzi. Tough luck first out. And who will it be? It looks like it'll be Jesus Flores. Davey Johnson says, hey, man, I got to use anybody that can get me a run or two here.
You see LaRoche getting himself into a 3-1 count, and that's a mistake, and it's up. And he did all you can do, and that's hit it hard. You can't steer it off your bat. So all you can do is get the barrel on it, and he smoked that.
So Flores will bat for Stammen, and another fine outing by Craig, giving up 2 hits, but no runs in 2 innings. Getting a double play ball and a strikeout. Jesus Flores, not a whole lot of playing time lately. Henry Rodriguez getting ready. Flores is 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter, 6 for 25 overall with 2 RBIs. Josh Colmenter, who started a ball game against the Nats in Phoenix last year, warming up for the Diamondbacks.
I'm wondering if that trip right there was a stall piece, or are they going to leave Breslow in to face Flores? It looks like they're going to leave him in.
Well, I personally like the move.
Yeah, me too. I think a lot of times managers save their last catcher. And how many times do you ever see where a catcher gets hurt and you burn your last catcher?
Not that often.
You got an offensive catcher like Flores, use him. Why not? Fire all bullets. You've lost 5 in a row. Go get them.
Yeah, managers always say we got to use all 25 guys. Second base Lombardozzi, first base Worth. 1-0 to Flores. He lets the breaking ball drop in there, and the count's even.
The interesting move coming up for Kirk Gibson is he going to turn Danny Espinosa around to the left side or let him hit right-handed?
Flores on a ball busting in on his hands, fouls it, and the count's 1-2. Breslow part of that deal that brought Trevor Cahill and cash to the Diamondbacks for 3 players. Oakland the last 3 years, San Diego, Boston, Cleveland, Minnesota. Before that, he's been around at the age of 31. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Flores late, but he stays alive. Now Jesus getting a lot of looks at the left-hander Breslow.
And the reason why he's late with 2 strikes right there is a hitter you're digging in with 2 strikes, and you have to respect a fastball in the low 90s. But just in the back of your head, you're thinking off speed. And it's all it takes is just 1%, 2% of off-speed thought in your head to make you late on the fastball. Because you're thinking he might come with the changeup, he might come with the curveball. You're thinking fastball, but just that little delay, that little thought of off-speed in your head makes you late on a heater with 2 strikes.
That ball right down around his spikes, and the count's 2-2.
And when you see guys get hits in 2 strike counts on fastballs, they convince themselves 100% that this is going to be a fastball. They just totally disregard off speed. They roll the dice and they say, this is going to be a heater. I'm on it.
And it wasn't. It was a breaking ball down that strikes him out. 2 down. All right, here comes Espinosa.
Just pulled the string right here. You see it? Little slider 83 got him.
7th pitch of the at-bat. It's up to Danny now with 2 outs. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Espinosa 0 for 6 in this series. And the batting average down to 190.
Kirk Gibson leaves Breslow in to face Espinosa right-handed. I think the Nats are catching a break right now.
He goes off speed and drops a changeup in there. If the inning continues. That's how you keep your shoulder in on your practice swing. You bite your jersey. Evidently, Bryce has a little routine going there, and that is a strike call to Espinosa.
Just a little cut fastball right there. You see the late cut, and it just caught the corner.
Two on, 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Espinosa strikes out. The Nats had 2 on, nobody out. Lombardozzi and Worth never left their bags. This one into the 9th. tomorrow night, Ian Kennedy is 3-0, and he was a 2.88 ERA guy last year. Facing Ross Detweiler, 2-1 with a 1.64 ERA, and he has dominated lefties so far. We'll get you going with Johnny and Ray. That's extra 6:30 from Nationals Park tomorrow night. So here we go, top of the 9th inning. Henry Rodriguez. And by the way, I flinched a little bit when I saw the stats for Kennedy. Yeah, 21-4 last year. The Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children receiving medical treatment at the National Institute of Health and their families who are caring for them at the Children's Inn at NIH. So for every strikeout, $37 donated by Toyota. Toyota's K's for Kids. Henry Rodriguez, a forgettable outing in Los Angeles on Saturday night, trying to bounce back here and keep this a 1-run game into the bottom of the 9th inning. He will face John McDonald, then the pitcher spot, then the top of the order for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, all eyes on Henry Rodriguez tonight after that last outing he had in Los Angeles. And everywhere I go, everybody asking me, is Henry still the closer? And I say, absolutely yes, without a doubt. I mean, you're unhittable up till one time out.
Fastball scorched right up the middle by John McDonald.
And even the best closers have bad days. And this is a big outing for Henry Rodriguez to jump right back on the horse.
And now a very experienced left-handed bat coming off the Arizona bench. In fact, it's his second tour of duty out there. That's Lyle Overbay. Pirates and Diamondbacks last year, he was with Arizona 01 to 03. And at one time traded to Milwaukee in a 9-player deal involving Craig Counsell, Chris Capuano, Richie Sexson, and others. So a while in Milwaukee, Toronto, and he's back with the D-backs now.
He's 5 for 9, 556 in his last 3 games.
In 2 games, this is the first man off the bench Kirk Gibson has used. J.J. Putz, the Arizona closer, has been up and throwing ever since the bottom of the 8th came to a close. He has 5 saves. Brian Shaw, who we saw last night, has 2. So Overbay overall is a pinch hitter, 2 for 4. Diamondbacks have reached that, for them, magical double-figure hit mark again tonight. Trying to win their 4th in a row, and they've had at least 10 hits in the previous 3. Late for 98. By the way, Lyle Overbay went to Nevada Rito. How about the ball club they had? Joe Inglet, former Nat Ryan Church, and reliever Chad Qualls were all on that team together for the Wolfpack. The 0-2, and just a piece of it for Lyle Overbay.
So Rodriguez in the strike zone early, threw a strike to McDonald right down the middle. He jumped all over it. And the fastball command has been good. We talked about it last out in Los Angeles. That would be a big test for Henry. And I was talking to Drew Storm today about the first time he blew a save in Philadelphia in a big situation. And he was telling me that you don't pitch against the crowd, and it's something for a young closer to learn. When you come into a hostile environment and you have 50-some thousand people cheering against you, that you're not pitching against the crowd, you're pitching against that hitter. And I think, you know, for Henry, what happened in Los Angeles, as tough as it was to watch, might be a good learning experience for the next time he goes on the road in a hostile environment. And you remember, you know, there was some demons there from last year. He had a tough outing there against the Dodgers too, so maybe some thoughts started creeping into his head, you know, trying to save a big game for Strasburg and Bryce Harper's debut. So a lot going on. and hopefully a learning experience.
No swing. I do believe a Philly by the name of Jason Worth hit a walk-off home run in that game against Drew Storn and the Nats.
And that's the one he was talking about. Yep. He said he came in, he was all fired up, the crowd was into it, he looked around and saw how loud it was and felt like, you know what, I'm going to sit this crowd down. And now, you know, with the experience that he has, he realizes it's just about one pitch at a time. It's about throwing that pitch to the hitter in the box, and you have to block everything else out.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the best closers I ever played with had a short memory.
Good and bad.
Yep.
With the runner going, it's out of play left side. For Nats alerts you can't miss, including starting lineups and in-game updates, text Nationals to 29292. You'll get messages throughout the day and the evening updating you on your Nats.
Well, they alerted me that Steven Strasburg was the pitcher of the month today.
And then I found out that was the first Nationals pitcher of the month since Chad Cordero in June of 2005. Well, the Nationals were having that amazing first half run in their inaugural season. Swing and a miss, runner going. They've got him hung up. 2 throws so far. And they're going to run him back, and now he falls down and tumbles into the second out. All kind of things happening.
He tried to draw contact with Danny Espinosa, but he went out of the baseline to do it. And anytime you leave the baseline, you're out. And you'll learn that maybe in college or the A-ball level. When you get a rundown and you think you're out, try to find contact with the defense. If you can draw contact, you get the extra base. Or you look at it right here, McDonald goes way out of the baseline to make contact with Danny Espinosa right there. See him run into him? I'm sure if you ask Danny Espinosa, he's not real pumped about this right here. That was a shoulder blow. And
well, Tim Cheetah wasn't fooled. I think they called him out before the tag by Rodriguez, so we'll leave that one at 2-4, 3-4 if you're scoring.
I mean, it's one thing to draw contact. It's another thing to drop your shoulder at an opposing second baseman. I can't imagine that Espinosa's thrilled about that.
Top of the order now, Gerardo Parra. On a pitch up, sounded like a busted bat. That ball is not catchable. Not even the guy in the blue shirt. Come on.
Big play for Henry Rodriguez, too. You're in a 3-2 count. First guy gets a base hit. If you walk him, all of a sudden, maybe the negative thoughts start creeping in your head. So that's a bigger play than it might appear.
Goes down as a strike him out, throw him out double play. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes on Parra. Locked him up with a breaking ball. Bottom of the 9th, guess who's leading off? Bryce Harper. The Nats need a run and another one to win.
Maybe in the bottom of the ninth, 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Perfect scenario. You want him in the major leagues. I bet he can't wait to get to the plate. Bryce Harper.
I wouldn't be surprised if he hits one a long way, Johnny. He's just that type of player. 8 hits tonight for the ball club. A little bit better offense.
Yep.
Edwin, a little up with his pitches, not quite as deft with his control. Saunders, pretty good outing, holding the club down and pitching really solidly when he was in trouble.
So the baby's not over yet. Let's go back to Bob at FP and see if we can pull this thing out in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, Johnny says the baby's not over. I say the baby's going to lead off here. J.J. Putz will be the closer that Bryce Harper faces. And Putz, going back to last season, 29 of his last 30 saves converted. He had 45 in 49 opportunities last year, eclipsing his personal record of 40 with Seattle back in 07.
Yeah, 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, split, and the velocity's down on the fastball this year. Last year it averaged 93. In 2010 it averaged 94. This year just 91 miles an hour.
Big fella who comes at you, 6'5", 250, 35 years of age now. And Putz with 156 big league saves.
Check out the night. 2 for 3, double. Just missed his first ever home run off the very top of the fence in right field over the scoreboard.
Inside.
I know a lot of people are thinking home run right here. I'm thinking get that speed on the bases.
Harper drills it to right center. It is off the scoreboard again, and he's 3 for 4.
Unbelievable.
6 for 13 as a major league hitter.
I mean, this is a missile, folks. You see the location mistake. It was supposed to be away. You never flirt with a power hitter on the inner half of the plate late in the game up by 1. And they might have to go repair the scoreboard in right center field because that was an absolute bolt. Wow.
Wilson Ramos now coming up. Do you have a catcher bunt in the bottom of the ninth?
I would.
With a runner at second and nobody out, Rick Ankiel for Tyler Moore is on deck in the number 9 spot.
You want to manage with makeup? I'll manage right now with makeup. I'll bunt anybody anytime. I like the bunt. I think it's a great play. You play for the tie at home. You play for the win on the road.
Ramos, no sign of squaring, and he takes one on the outside corner.
They're digging it. They get their rally hats on.
Ramos right field. That'll be out of play. Bunt is out of play. Got to hack, got to move the runner with 2 strikes. Way outside with a fastball. Got him on an 84-mile-an-hour changeup upstairs. 1 out. And now Rick Ankiel.
And that might have been the split. It acts as a changeup, and it just squirted out of his hand. Wilson Ramos thinking it's going to break down. It stays up, and it was a hanger. And you see him trying to keep the hands inside the baseball and go the other way. But see the grip right there? There's the split. Just kind of squirts out on him. And, folks, that's the last place you want to split.
Wow. He missed so badly it became unhittable. Rick Ankiel pinch hitting now. Ankiel as a pinch hitter on the year, 1 for 1 with an RBI. He is susceptible to the high pitch, so Putz throws a fastball up in the zone that Rick laid off. Ankiel this year, 12 strikeouts and 43 at-bats. Pretty good career pinch hitting numbers. You knew they were going to take him up the ladder there. That's a good take, even though that ball was way up there. Not easy to lay off on 2 strikes.
See if he goes fastball up one more time or goes to the split.
Ankiel strikes out, 2 down. Nationals have struck out 10 times tonight. When the game's over, WB Mason presents Nats Extra Post Game with Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight right here from Nationals Park. Ian Desmond is the final hope of the Nats. 1 for 4 tonight. Nationals have stranded only 4 runners all night long. Actually 6. 2 in the 8th, adding to that total. Not an outrageous amount.
And Bryce Harper is going to really have to work hard here on his secondary lead with 2 outs. We talked about the arms in the Diamondbacks outfield already tonight. Parra probably throws the best. Upton's got a good arm, and so does Kubel.
Nationals trying to fight their way off of a 6-game losing streak here.
That's the best arm out there.
Nats trying to get into double figures in base hits. 3 runs on 9 hits tonight. And Desmond hits one high in the air to left center field. It is near the track, and that is a game-winning home run. Desmond with a jump-off homer.
He's been trying to do that all night long. His swing has been aggressive since his first at-bat tonight. He finally got a pitch, and how about this club? Got a pitch right out over the plate. And that's the hit they've been waiting for about 5 games. Ian Desmond getting a fastball was supposed to be away. He was flirting with disaster with Harper. The pitch was supposed to be away. That one came back, and he got all of it, folks. It's a cold night here. You got to get one to get it out of here, and he did. And check out the hops. from Ian Desmond. That's good stuff.
Just what this ball club needed, no matter how they were able to get it done, with a walk-off homer. And Davy Johnson smiling ear to ear for some late offense. Well, the Nats did get that 10th base hit, and they win it 5-4. And now they are 9-3 at home. The 5-game losing streak is a memory. And here's Christina with Ian Desmond.
Ian's taking it all in right now. You stepped up when it counted and made it happen. Just what this team needed. Take us through the at-bat here for the walk-off.
Exactly what we needed, you know. Just a big hit. Trying to get the next guy up to the plate. What a win.
You guys have talked about how you're not going down without a fight. And just talk about this team and what they put into it to come back and make this happen tonight.
No, you know, got a great spark from Harp there. Obviously, something we needed. Just a big at-bat. The kid's good.
And the win, you know, you needed that too, right?
Absolutely. You know, Henry did a great job coming in after his last outing. Just what a win, you know, it was great.
You look like you're feeling good right now.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. You got to go celebrate with the boys.
There you go. All right, thanks. Back to you, Bob.
All right, thank you, Christina, and congratulations to Ian Desmond. 3rd homer of the year. His RBI total shoots up to 10, and the Nats steal one in the closing seconds. Game 3 will be a rubber game tomorrow night. Johnny and Ray, 6:30 Nats Extra. And this has been a Masson presentation. WB Mason brings you Nats Extra with Johnny and Ray here at the ballpark. So the Nats are now 15-9 on the year. How badly needed was that? From the booth. See you later.